Everybody in the world knows German bread. That's because it's sourdough bread. I show you how to prepare that. Hi everyone, welcome back to my kitchen here in Munich, Germany. You asked me to make sourdough bread. That was the starting point of a real adventure for me. First of all, I can tell you, you don't need much, you just need flour and water, plus patience and the will to fail, because it's a trial and error story. Making your own sourdough is a science. In fact, yes. And there is not the one recipe that works for everyone because of the different flours, the different temperatures, the different water, the different ovens. You will have to find out your own way. But the bread you bake with your own sourdough is the best you will have ever eaten. Okay. What do we need? We need flour. I have rye flour here and some full grain flour and water. And from the rye flour and the water, I mixed a sourdough. It's in here. It doesn't look too nice, but it's a wonderful thing. And when I smell it, it really smells like a dough. It smells sour. This is homemade sourdough. I will show you how to prepare that. At first, you need a really clean glass or a clean bowl. And you put like 150 grams of flour into it. Best is rye flour or something darker. And you add about the same amount of water. And that is where the problem starts. Because you cannot really say, is it okay to have the same amount of water or not? Because every flour is different. It should become quite a fluent mixture. You cover it, you don't seal it, then you leave it alone in a warm place between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius around. You leave it there for 24 hours. The temperature is something else. The warmer it gets, the faster it grows. The colder it gets, the longer it takes. So you see, everything is flexible and you cannot say there's just this one recipe. Next day I added 50 grams of flour plus around the same amount of water. Did this the third day as well, and then I had quite an amount of sourdough. Then I started to make my bread. I mixed 500 grams of this sourdough with 600 grams of flour plus 400 milliliters of water and 15 grams of salt, nothing else. And I poured that into a form, left this another 24 hours in a warm room, and then I put it in the oven. As it came out, I was quite proud because the crust was great. And I cut it open and it looked nice. But then I tasted it and it was wet. It was very, very doughy. It was like it hadn't baked inside. I was sort of disappointed. So I started to do some research again. I had some sourdough left over for the second round. That's the way it works with the sourdough. You have another round. You always take the leftover from the round before and feed it again till you have enough. And then you take something off of it to make a bread and you leave some in the glass and you feed it again to make the next bread. So I made some research. Why is my bread so wet? And in the internet they said you might have used too much water, or another reason could be because it is only rye flour. And there was a third reason. Yes, you could use some additional yeast. And I tried to take all these reasons and change something. And that is how I do my second dough, which I bake today. I take less water for the dough. I take another flour. I take some wheat flour, some spelt flour, and I add a little bit of yeast to make it more fluffy, to make it come up better, and in the end to have it a bit dry. Well, and I add some seeds, some sunflower seeds and some cucumber seeds. You can always do that as you like. Okay, that is my second try, and I poured that into a form, left this another 24 hours in a warm room, and then I put it in the oven. Alright, now take a look at that. Okay, before I put it in the oven, I will cut it so if the dough grows a little in the heat, it has space to do that. This has been 24 hours in the form, and now it goes in the oven. Alright, I'm sort of shocking the bread now. I've put it in there with a high heat, 220 degrees Celsius, circulating air. I leave it in there with this temperature for around 10 minutes, and then I reduce the heat to 180 degrees and leave it in there another around 80 minutes. Now the bread is finished in the oven. Oh, that looks good. It looks better than my very first try. Want to have a look? Wow. Seems to be okay. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Oh yes, have a look at that. Great, here we go. This is a really good crust. It's hard on the outside, that is brilliant. Let's cut it open. Ah, yes. Very crusty. Let's have a look inside. Looks good, hey! Look at these bubbles, they are all around the bread and very similar and nice size. I will take a slice of it and test it. Wow, very, very crispy and it's fresh. It's a bit juicy inside, it's okay, but not too wet. Wow, yeah. Great. The second try worked out properly. It's soft inside, it's not too wet, the crust is crispy, and I must say it was quite a good idea to add a little yeast to the sourdough in the end. And if you want to eat it in a nice way, you can put cheese on it or butter, or as I do, some Oberster. And how to make Oberster. That is Bavarian savory cheese, and I have a video how to prepare Oberster. Yes. That really was worth it. I can just say, you have to try this out. Please do. And please find out your own best way how to treat your flour, how much water you need. Find out your way how to make a sourdough bread. It's really, really worth it. And maybe you want to combine it with Oberster. And then you will have a really, really great thing. I hope you like my videos. If you do, please subscribe my channel and tell your friends about it. And enjoy your meals. See you.